Welcome to the Charting Courses Podcast, a show brought to you by the team at Ventura MedStaff, dedicated to helping traveling medical professionals navigate the world of travel healthcare. Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm Brittany.
And today we are talking all about how to make the most out of your spring travel healthcare assignment. Not just survive it, but really take advantage of it.
I think this is especially important for spring. Spring assignments are a sweet spot for travel healthcare. The weather's better, there are more opportunities, and honestly, it's a great time for a reset.
I couldn't agree more. So that's why today's episode is all about how to take your spring assignment and make sure you are getting what you want and what you need out of it. To help us answer some questions, Brittany spoke with our leadership team to get the ins and outs of spring travel, from choosing the right opportunities to building connections, staying flexible, and growing your career along the way. Brittany, let's start with why spring is such a good time to take an assignment.
Spring is great because it's a season of opportunity in travel healthcare. We hear this a lot from our leadership team and recruiters, but there's typically less competition for assignments in the spring.
What does that mean exactly?
Well, a lot of people like to take time off for summer, so trying to get back into travel after July can be really challenging. Spring is your opportunity to grab an assignment and get ahead of the curve before the market becomes more saturated.
Yeah, I've heard that starting an assignment now can position you for an extension in popular destinations heading into summer and fall, often before other travelers even begin their search.
Yeah, exactly.
So, where's demand highest in spring?
Right now, our leadership team is seeing the highest needs in the Pacific Northwest, the Northeast, and the Upper Midwest. So think places like the Dakotas, Montana, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. And in all of these states, you're going to find a good mix of available facility types and a good range of specialties.
I've heard great things about the Pacific Northwest in the spring. Are there any other hotspot destinations travelers should check out?
Well, those are the hot spots for spring, but there are other traveler destinations where the needs are consistent year round. So, think more rural and critical care facilities. They're usually a reliable option for travelers seeking consistent work. Those can be found in every state.
So, it sounds like to maximize options, travelers should be flexible.
Definitely. It's probably one of the biggest factors in having a great assignment.
Why is that?
Because some of the best opportunities aren't always the ones you originally pictured. Leadership talks about this a lot. Keeping an open mind can lead you to assignments you never would have considered, but end up loving.
So, maybe it's not your dream location,
But it ends up being your favorite assignment. Yeah, it happens all the time.
and from a career standpoint, I imagine flexibility also helps you grow faster.
Oh, absolutely. Different patient populations, different systems, different teams. You're building adaptability, which is huge as a traveler.
Plus, I hear that spring is a good time for a reset, a chance to realign your travel goals with what you want.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely a good time of year for that. It encourages travelers to think about what they want to get out of traveling and, evaluate whether they're accomplishing their goals or not.
Could one of those goals be prioritizing outdoor time now that winter is over? That's definitely one of my goals.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common goal for spring. And I think that leads up to the crux of the episode, right? Making sure you're maximizing all the opportunities that spring travel gets you.
When you say opportunities, are you talking more personal or professional?
Spring travel can help with both.
Let's start with the professional side. What does that look like?
Well, we already touched on being flexible, but that will make sure travelers don't limit their options. They can experience better pay, different settings, and new locations they might not have gotten to otherwise. But our leadership team also mentioned looking into states with quicker licensing. It can be a really smart move and get you working faster and expand your experience. And to really maximize your professional experience, travelers should really lean on their recruiter. Talking out assignments with them can help you really understand where the demand is and what opportunities might be a good fit.
All right, so that's the career side, being flexible, thinking strategically, but that's only half of it.
Right. Because if you're only focusing on work, you're missing a huge part of why people choose travel healthcare in the first place.
So let's talk about the personal side.
For spring, I think to maximize your personal experience, it should really be about taking advantage of the season, getting outdoors, exploring your location, and using that time to reset after winter.
Yeah, just embrace the adventure.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be anything huge. It could be hiking, trying new places, or even something simple like going outside during your breaks. Just experience where you are because it goes fast. And an underrated tip that our leadership team passed on to us is to network with other travelers. By networking with travelers and sharing recommendations, you can learn what others have enjoyed.
We have a lot of travelers who have found their favorite assignment locations through networking.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely worth, exploring.
Well, it sounds like spring is one of the smartest times to jump into travel because it sets you up so well. You have less competition, a solid travel experience, and you're positioning yourself for better opportunities. Is there anything else our leadership team wanted to share?
Perhaps most importantly, they wanted to stress that if you're waiting for the perfect assignment or timing, you'll miss momentum. Spring is about getting in, getting experience, and setting yourself up to win for the rest of the year.
Well, thanks, Brittany. That's it for today's episode. If you're heading into a spring assignment, we hope this will help you make the most of it, both professionally and personally. And if you're still looking for your next opportunity, Ventura MedStaff would love to help you find it. We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Charting Courses podcast, brought to you by Ventura MedStaff. If you enjoyed this episode, give us a like, share it with your friends, and follow our channel so you never miss an episode.